Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. If you thought things couldn't be much more horrific in TLC's twisted, emotionally charged world of sister wives, think again. Kody Brown, the contentious patriarch of the now collapsing Brown family business, has just done something that has supporters feeling sick to their stomachs. And we're not talking mild distaste here, we're talking full-on vomit-worthy, turn off the TV, did he really just do that, levels of disgust. The internet is buzzing. Viewers are upset. Some are even wondering if TLC should finally cancel the long-running reality show following Kody's latest display of arrogance, insensitivity, and outright cruelty. So, what did Kody Brown do this time to spark yet another blaze of outrage? Sit tight, for this story exposes the layers of deception, ego, and favoritism that have defined Kody's behavior for years, culminating in one of the most jaw-dropping actions ever captured on tape. Brace yourself, for even devoted Sister Wives fans are calling it vile, repulsive, and beyond redemption. Some viewers have even sworn off the show entirely, claiming they can't watch another second of Kody's antics. So let's plunge in. The Brown family has been on the verge of collapse for years. What began as a daring attempt to demonstrate a healthy plural marriage has devolved into a harrowing story of emotional neglect, public betrayals, and ruined bonds. Christine has left. Janelle is emotionally detached. Mary has been sidelined and ignored. Throughout it all, Kody has doggedly believed that he is the victim, despite overwhelming proof to the contrary. Fans have watched in horror as Kody lavishes care on Robin, his fourth and current legal wife, while becoming progressively cold and nasty to the other women, even his own children. His narcissistic characteristics have become stronger with each season, and many now believe he's using the show to excuse his actions rather than as a genuine glimpse of plural family life. But nothing, and we mean nothing, could have prepared viewers for what he did in a recent episode. It was more than just a comment. It was more than simply a gaze. It was a planned, contemptuous, and completely unpleasant gesture directed at one of the women who helped construct the Brown family from the ground up. When cameras caught it, viewers all across the world shared the same reaction, disgust. The incident occurred during what was supposed to be a calm family discussion regarding Coyote Pass, the iconic piece of land that has become symbolic of the family's failed ambitions. The conversation was already strained. Janelle was trying to express her wish to go forward, Christine was open about how she no longer owned the home, and Mary was quietly observing, plainly feeling like an outsider. Emotions ran high. Then came Kody. He sauntered in late, again, with his customary swagger, as if he was doing everyone a favor simply by turning up. From the time he walked into the room, his energy was aggressive. He smirked at Christine's remarks. He rolled his eyes at Janelle's ideas. But the moment that finally sent fans over the edge was when Mary reluctantly opened up about her residual dreams for some form of inclusion or closure, anything to vindicate the decades she had spent committed to this family. Instead of expressing empathy or even basic decency, Kody laughed. Then, in front of the cameras and his ex-wives, he made a dismissive flick of the hand in Mary's direction, a contemptuous begone wave that stated all he hesitated to say. The gesture was brief, but the impact was profound. It was as if he was physically removing Mary from the conversation, from the family, the farm, and his existence. And what about the viewers? They were horrified. Fans declare they are done with Kody. Within minutes of the program airing, Twitter, now X, Reddit, and Facebook were flooded with comments. Did anyone else feel physically ill watching Kody wave Mary off like she was trash? A user said. Another person remarked, I have never seen somebody treat their child's mother so callously. I actually felt nauseous. On Reddit, an entire post was dedicated to discussing the gesture, with one commentator commenting, that wasn't just disrespectful. That was cruel. It was the last nail in the coffin. I'm out. Even long-term viewers who had tried to give Kody the benefit of the doubt were shaken. I used to think maybe we weren't getting the full picture, acknowledged one enthusiast. What happens after tonight? There is no other side. Kody is toxic. Period. Memes immediately spread, including a widely shared image of Kody waving dismissively with the message, "When your ego's bigger than your empathy." Brutal. Some viewers even included TLC in their indignation, urging the network to quit encouraging Kody's actions. "This is abuse," one individual wrote. "Emotional abuse doesn't usually involve yelling. Sometimes it's dehumanizing gestures like these. Shame on TLC for airing that as if it was fun." Mary's reaction, heartbreak behind the silence. Mary's reaction, or lack thereof, exacerbated the misery of the situation. She did not argue. She did not cry. She merely sat there, her gaze flickering down to the floor, her body as still as stone. It was the kind of silence that screams more than words. The type of silence that results from years of being ignored, reduced, and emotionally abandoned. For many observers, this was the most heartbreaking element of the entire scene. "Mary didn't even flinch," one fan wrote. "That tells me she's been treated this way for years. She is numb." Others pointed out that Mary's silent acceptance of the gesture demonstrated how deep the emotional trauma was. "It's not that she's okay with it," one commenter stated. "It's that she's so used to being disrespected, she doesn't even react anymore." Mary stayed despite her embarrassment. She sat throughout the meeting. She attempted to keep the peace. And when Kody subsequently dismissed her again, stating, "We don't need to hear from Mary right now," she merely nodded. It was a devastating look into the toxic relationship that has plagued the Brown family for years. The overall picture, a pattern of toxic behavior. Of course, this obnoxious gesture did not appear out of nowhere. It's the conclusion of Kody's long history of dismissing the women in his life when they no longer fit his tale. We witnessed it with Christine, who was accused of betraying the family for pursuing happiness. We've seen it with Janelle, whose independence appears to undermine Kody's need for control. And we've seen it repeatedly with Mary, whose commitment has been rewarded with silence, contempt, and, most recently, physical dismissal. Kody's few defenders claim that he is under a lot of strain and that editing may magnify his actions. But even the best editing cannot produce that level of harshness. The cameras may have caught a fleeting moment, but it was one that spoke volumes. What about the fans? They are no longer willing to excuse it. "He treats Robin like a queen and everyone else like trash," according to an admirer. "He only values the ladies who worship him. The rest are disposable." Robin's silence, complicity or caution? Surprisingly, Robin, widely regarded as the most protected and favored of the wives, said nothing during the notorious gesture. She didn't intervene. She did not defend Mary. She just sat beside Kody, her look unreadable. For some admirers, this was just as bad as Kody's gesture. "If you're not speaking up, you're part of the problem," one viewer remarked. Others hypothesized that Robin might be walking a tightrope herself. "I think she knows how volatile Kody is," one Reddit user commented. "If she speaks up, she risks becoming the next target." However, those who have seen Robin profit from Kody's partiality while the other women suffer will find it difficult to accept silence in the face of brutality. What happens next for the Brown family? Following this now infamous episode, there are worries about Sister Wife's future. Can the show continue with the family so plainly fractured? Is there a way ahead for the remaining relationships? And, perhaps most pressingly, how much more abuse are supporters willing to tolerate before walking away for good? Some argue that the show should shift away from Kody totally and focus on the ex-wives' travels as they rebuild their lives. Christine's newfound happiness has been a breath of fresh air for the audience. Janelle's independence is amazing. Even Mary, who is quietly making moves behind the scenes, has an interesting story to tell. As one admirer stated, "I'd watch a spin-off about the women healing. But I'm done watching Kody wreck everything in his way."